Okay, now I think we are getting into one of Latvian-made products and trying to promote it globally. And now I'll have a pleasure to give floor to Pērkons, where he was helping one of Latvian IT companies in trying to promote their product, trying to figure out how they should review their product strategy globally and what can they do. Okay.
Thank you for your introduction, Mr. Grevinch. Good morning, everyone. My name is Pauls, and as you can see by my topic, I was working together with a company called RBS in Latvia and trying to understand their current market, what we can improve in their product strategy, and where should they go in the future. So to give a brief overview, this is what I'm going to talk about. And to understand what that company actually does, I will give you a brief understanding of their background. So what LVDMS is that they're an enterprise resource planning solution for the automotive industry. So basically, they work with companies such as dealerships, public transport companies, or companies that provide repair services for cars or trucks or anything of that kind. And what is important is that they're completely customizable software. So they try to fit any possible use case and try to attend to all the markets in this wide industry. Furthermore, they are an add-on for an already existing ERP system, which is Microsoft Dynamics Navision. And they also sell two different types. So one is direct sales, so directly to their customers, or partner sales, as they only indirectly sell to their customers. And my research question is based on a framework I analyzed, which is an information technology success framework from 2003, and I adapted it to fit the specific industry and to fit the time span that has gone from 2003 to now. And from my framework, I analyzed the possible three main items that affect the decision-making process for these types of companies: be the customer support, the system quality, and the cost structure. So what I did from my theoretical analysis, I analyzed the industry and similar technologies, and I got to the point that, first of all, in the industry, the top 10 largest automotive software vendors were increasing in value, were increasing in revenues and in market shares, while the ones that weren't in the top 10 were decreasing in all of them. So we could understand that the big ones were getting bigger while the small ones were staying small. So we needed to understand what makes them so big and what makes them improve over time instead of the small ones. And what I noticed was that the market leaders were mostly investing in moving their business to cloud software, as well as investing in automation and making sure there is as little manual work as possible in these systems. And furthermore, more about this technology, I got that, first of all, for example, comparing data from 2016 and 2019, the forecast for it, it was noticeable that for ERP systems, already 22% of the systems had data analytics for social media data, and 15% had data analytics for any kinds of data, so structured or unstructured. And furthermore, also 30% of the ERP systems at that point already had some kinds of social real-time messaging in their systems, or some kinds of chatbots to also automate this process. And these are the three things that were also expected to really increase over time to the forecasted 2019. And how I did my primary data was that I tried to understand how specific stakeholders of the system view the system and what would they like to improve. So I tried to get the insights from three main audiences, which were partners, potential customers, and customers, which I got from LVDMS. And while I didn't get to actually interview any of the potential customers, I got to have unstructured interviews with partners and customers, and also to increase the sample size, I interviewed a cloud consultant and a dealership manager. First of all, understand how different companies view cloud software as a whole, and from the dealership manager's standpoint, understand how does this decision-making process work for their systems. And what I got from this are different kinds of conclusions. First of all, ones that are related to these types of systems in the general, and ones that are related to the company. So from the general conclusions, once I analyzed these interviews, I summarized them, and put out specific keywords and put them in 3 categories based on my framework, which were the cost structure, system quality, and customer support. And what I got from this is that actually only the system quality is the process that influences the decision-making process. And at the same time, customer support was only relevant after the purchase has already been made and the onboarding has started, while the cost structure was relevant only for smaller companies that were very budget conscious of these systems. And larger companies did not look at that as an issue. But what I also noticed is that while these 3 things were important, there were other issues that were even more important, which were in this case the popularity within their region or within their country. Because these automotive software industry is very, in a sense, niche industry, then there are a lot of systems that are whitelisted within specific countries. So to be even on this list of systems that are looked at, they needed to, first of all, have the system to be able to deal with different use cases. They needed to have the marketing to be known within the industry, as well as they needed to be mature to show that they have consistent results over the last years. And another insight I gained was that, first of all, the system type was very necessary to understand for the customers, whether it was an out-of-the-box system with everything pre-made already, or was it a fully customizable system. And the customers actually wanted something that was already standardized, but to fit their specific use case, they wanted to be able to buy something on top of that. And furthermore, if companies wanted to reduce their support costs, they should look for companies that have no IT departments or smaller IT departments, because the IT departments were the ones who made most of the tickets in these cases. And from the LVDMS specific conclusions, I got also in 2 main groups. So one of them is more related to the actual process of decision making, which is basically based on the system, and the processes that are after that, which are related to the company structure. So what I got from this is that while their system might be on par with other companies, they still only worked completely as intended after 5 or 6 years of use, which is a long time. And that is due to these customers having to contact their support for even 5 years after it was already implemented. And furthermore, although they tried to get this large market, they weren't flexible enough because they were using an outdated system as a basis of that. For those of you who have used Microsoft Dynamics Navision, you should know what I'm talking about. And furthermore, their company structure had an issue that they were lacking specific onboarding documentation, and every specific customer was treated differently. Each time there were different amounts of people involved, and it was different amounts of time involved in the process. And so, although most of their sales happened to partners, this process was not optimized, and each partner dealt with it as they wanted to. So my recommendations for this company was to focus most of their investments, instead of this platform, to make a new platform that will be specialized for, first of all, for one market, instead of trying to capture the whole market. So be it dealerships, be it truck vendors, be it public transport, but something one only. And furthermore, what this would give them is that they would better suit the specific market. They would be able to offer an out-of-the-box solution that will be also more flexible and scalable. So what I got from the referee questions, I got 2 main questions that were, if they were to improve this new strategy, what would be their competitive advantage? And what would be their customer service improvement strategy in that case? And my thoughts and assumptions, at least in this case, were that if they were to focus on the standardization and the scalability by creating a new platform from scratch, they would be able to, for the customers, provide a software that will be implemented a lot faster. They would fit their specific use case a lot better, and they would be able to outperform other competitors by having possibly also this automation already from the beginning. And furthermore, about their support, what they should do is that if they were to start documenting their processes, they would improve also the work for their partners, as a lot of specific problems that could be for their specific company could also be solved for different partners who already sell to different customers. Thank you. This was my presentation, and I will gladly answer your questions now.
Thank you. Inge, it's okay? Okay, Lattelecom side.
Okay.
Questions?
No questions?
No? Audience, maybe?
No questions? Okay.
Or nobody
No.
stood or everybody? Okay, thank you then.
Thank you.